Hi guys, this video is about tangent line problems. So we will be talking about how to find slope of a tangent line. So when we talk about slope of a line, the slope is same at every point on the line. No matter what 2 points you take, you get the same slope. Slope is constant, it doesn't change. But if there is a curve, then we don't have a constant slope. Slope is changing at every point. At every point we have a different slope because at every point we have a different steepness of the tangent line. So what is tangent line? Tangent line is a line that can be drawn at that point that just touches that point only at once. So slope is related to a line which is tangent to the curve at a particular point. So to find the slope of a point, we draw a tangent line at that point and find slope of the tangent line. Okay. Here, for example, this is the point and this is your line. This line is steep. But if you go down, your line is less steeper and it's less negative. When you come down here, your line becomes horizontal, so slope becomes 0. When you keep going to the right, your line has positive slope. You go a little bit up, your line is more positive. So as you go from left to right, your slope is increasing, right? It's changing at every point. So slope of a tangent line will help us to find slope of the function at a particular point. So when we have an explicit equation, we will be asked to find slope at an x value. If there is an implicit equation, we will be asked to find slope at the point, because in implicit we have x and y together, so we will have x and y coordinates, and as a point will be given. So let's take a look at some questions. First question, find the slope of a function at x equals -1 and 1. So slope means derivative. So as we studied in the definition of derivative, we studied this equation, right? We said that on a curve, to find the derivative, you pick 2 points close to each other. Let's say one point is x, f of x. The other one is a little bit higher than that point. Let's say it is delta x more than x. So f of x plus delta x. So when you find slope, it becomes change in y over change in x. So change in y is f of x plus delta x minus f of x. And change in x is x plus delta x minus x. X's cancel each other. So f of x plus delta x minus f of x over x. So as the delta x getting approaching to 0, it's getting smaller and smaller, it's approaching to 0, then you will have an idea about how the slope changing in this curve. So that limit form will give us how the slope of the curve changing. So it's giving us about slope. So slope is about a derivative. So when we see this form, we know that's talking about the derivative. So slope is about derivative. So whenever the question is asking about slope, it's talking about its derivative. So let's take a look at this question. Find the slope by taking the derivative. Derivative of f of x equals 2 in front, -4x, derivative of 3 is 0. So that's my slope, that's my derivative slope. We need to find slope at -1 and 1. So you evaluate f prime at 1 and -1. So at negative 1, negative 4 times negative 1, 4. At 1, negative 4 times 1, negative 4. So you have two different slopes. At negative 1, it's 4. At 1, it's negative 4. So this is the derivative of the slope of the tangent line at these 2 points. Okay, another question, an example question. Find the slopes of tangent line to the graph at these points. So we take derivative to find slope. M is equal to f prime, which is derivative of f is 2x. After this point, I will use these x values. I have just x in the answer. Don't worry about y's. You just look at the x values. I have x in the answer because f prime of, I have two values. So f prime of 0 first, 2 times 0, 0. F prime of negative 1 later, 2 times negative 1, negative 2. So at 0, my slope is 0, which means the slope of the tangent line is a line that's touching that particular point only at once. So it is 0. So the slope being 0 means that tangent line being horizontal. So let's take a look at this figure. This is our graph of the function. This is the slope of the tangent line at 0. So at 0, the tangent line is horizontal, so its slope is 0. That's why it's horizontal. What about at negative 1? At negative 1, the slope is negative 2, which means we have a line that's falling down from left to right, something like that. So at negative 1, this is my line. So slope of this tangent line is negative 2. So this is how you can illustrate the tangent lines at particular points. Alright, let's continue with an implicit equation. So it doesn't matter what kind of function or equation we have. All we need to do is take derivative. Take derivative, and like differentiation at a point, we are going to substitute the given value or given point in the derivative. So find slope. Find slope is same as find derivative. Okay. So we are going to differentiate this. We have an implicit equation. There is product here, so apply product rule. Derivative of first, derivative of x cubed, 3x squared, multiplied by second, y, plus first, x cubed, multiplied by derivative of second, derivative of y, y prime, plus derivative of x, 1, equals derivative of negative 1, 0. Instead of isolating y prime, I will directly insert the given points. What are the coordinates here? X is given as 1, y is given as minus 2. In place of x, write 1, for y, write minus 2. Okay, now evaluate, calculate this new form. So 1 squared 1, 1 times 3, 3, 3 times negative 2, negative 6, plus 1 times y prime plus 1 equals 0, negative 6, 1, negative 5 plus y prime 0, negative 5 to the other side, y prime is 5. So that's what slope is. Slope means f prime of, let's say 1 here, or y prime or m, they all mean the same slope. Okay. All right, another implicit equation, that's a ministry equation, an exercise question. To find the slope, we should differentiate everything in the question. So y to the fourth, 4y cubed times y prime equals y squared. 2y times y prime minus x squared. Its derivative is 2x. So I'm done differentiating. Now I will continue with inserting the values of x and y. So the first one is x, second one is y. In place of x, you will insert square root 3 over 4. In place of y, you will insert 1 over 2. So I have 4 times 1 over 2 cubed times y prime equals 2 by 1 over 2 times y prime minus 2 by square root of 3 over 4. Let's simplify. 1 over 2 cubed is 1 over 8. 4 over 8 is 2. Equals 2 simplifies y prime minus 2 4 simplifies square root of 3 over 2. I have y prime in either side of the equation, so let's collect them. Bring negative square root of 3 over 2 to the left, y prime over 2 to the right. So square root of 3 over 2 is equal to y prime minus y prime over 2, y prime over 2. So multiply both sides by by 2. So y prime is equal to square root of 3, which is option A. All right. So as I explained in the previous question, instead of isolating y prime first, it's better to substitute the given points. We will not worry about how to simplify, how to take common factors and stuff. We directly input the given and isolate y prime. It's much more easier, simpler. All right, another ministry question. We have a composition here. When we have a composition, let's do the composition first. What is f of g of x? Find f of g of x, put g into f, right? Your inside function is g. So f of g of x is equal to 5 minus 2 times g of x squared, which is 3 minus x squared. Okay, now take the derivative of this composite function. Let me take derivative of each term one by one. Derivative of 5 is 0. Derivative of the second term is there is power. Bring the power down in front. 2 by negative 2, negative 4. 3 minus x to the power of 1 multiplied by derivative of the base, which is minus 1. So it is minus minus plus 4, 3 minus x. That's our derivative slope. So I need to find the slope at which point? At 3. So substitute 3 for x. So 3 by 3, 3 minus 3 is 0, 0 by 4 is 0. So the answer is 0. Learn how to find slope of normal line. We have slope of tangent line and we also have slope of normal line. Slope of tangent line and slope of normal lines are perpendicular to each other. So if they are perpendicular, then slopes will be opposite reciprocals. So it means the product of slopes is negative 1, right? So let's take a look at that exercise question. Find slopes of tangent and normal line to this equation at this point. So first step is taking the derivative first, differentiating everything in the equation first. Derivative of x squared, 2x plus derivative of xy, apply product rule, derivative of first times second plus first times derivative of second minus derivative of y squared to y prime equals 0. Now substitute 2 for x, 3 for y. 2 for x, 3 for y. Okay, now 2 times 2, 4. 4 plus 3, 7. 7 plus 2y prime minus 2 by 3, 6y prime equals 0. 2 minus 6 minus 4. 7 minus 4y prime is 0. 4y prime to the other side. Divide both sides by 4. Y 7 over 4. So y prime here means slope of tangent line. What I need also is slope of normal line. Slope of normal line is perpendicular to slope of tangent line, so you take opposite reciprocal, which is negative 4 over 7. Find slopes of tangent and normal lines to this equation. This is such a nice question. It involves trigonometry and the angle is kind of tricky. So let's take derivative of everything in the equation. Derivative of y prime equals 2 by Derivative of sine is derivative of the angle. What is derivative of the angle? What is derivative of pi x minus y multiplied by cosine of the same angle? Okay, now let's take derivative of the angle. Derivative of pi x is pi minus derivative of y is y prime multiplied by cosine pi x minus y. It looks like I'm done with taking derivative. Now I'm going to insert the given point. 1 for x, 0 for y. 1 for x, 0 for y. No more x and y. So let's simplify this now. Y prime is 2 times pi minus y prime times cosine pi times 1 pi, pi minus 0 pi, still pi. Cosine pi is negative 1. So y prime is equal to negative 1 multiplied by 2, negative 2 pi minus y prime. I need y prime alone. There's y prime on the left, y prime on the right. Let's isolate y prime. Y prime equals negative 2 pi minus minus plus 2y prime. Let's collect y primes together. Y prime to the right, 2y prime minus y prime equals negative 2 pi to the left, 2 pi. So that's y prime. The first thing I got must give me slope of the tangent line. So I got slope of the tangent line. Now I need to find slope of normal line. Slope of the tangent and normal should be perpendicular, which means their slopes are opposite reciprocals. Opposite plus becomes negative, and reciprocal, you flip it over 2 pi. So that's what slope of normal line is. So these are the things that we need to know about how to find slope of tangent and normal line.